Right, good morning guys. Today we are back on the E24. Today's plans, just to give this thing a general tidy up. There's some hoovering out to be done. I'm going to try and get to the bottom of starting issues that this thing seems to develop. It's just the starter motor every now and again isn't clicking in, so I'm going to try and sort that. There's a little bit of welding to do on this car as well today. And yeah, we're just going to tick a few jobs off. I'm trying to get this car on the road ready for kind of springtime. So yeah, we need to crack on. There's a few things we need to do, and we just thought we'd do a little video. Right, one of the first things we're going to do this morning is I'm going to test this is the heater motor, which seems to, well, I thought it had packed up, but I've just touched this on positive and negative wire and it did seem to spin. So we're going to give this a test and just see if it's actually working or not, and what we need to do to sort this, because obviously having heaters working in this car is going to be quite an important thing. Just want to see if we've actually got power. Because I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with the motor, because I'm sure a minute ago it tried to spin.
Can we hold that or?
Nothing wrong with that.
She's alive.
She's alive. So we can.
Good though, doesn't it?
It works really well actually. Yeah, I have just oiled it. So, but at least now
We know.
we can install that back into the bulkhead, and yeah, at least we know now that's working.
So what's on the list next?
So I've charged the battery. I've just cleaned up all the earth points and that go to the starter motor.
So hopefully that's all
In the
issue.
hope, in the hope that it sorts our starting issue, because it was starting fine, and then it just decided not to. So I think it's either one of these earthing points, or starter motor itself is fine. Could be the immobiliser, but I'm going to start with the easiest thing first and just clean all these earths up. We needed to take the battery off and charge that anyway, because again, even though that battery was brand new, it won't have been helping. Yeah.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Because it is a pain having to start this the way I have to start it, jump in the starter terminals. It's a bit of a pain when I need to move this thing in and out.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. What's this now?
Busy here today. Busy here today.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't cure our starting problem, well, we've lost nothing. If this doesn't work, my guess is that it's the immobiliser.
Fingers crossed it works.
Give it a go, see if she starts.
Moment truth.
It's in park, isn't it?
Yeah.
No?
No.
That's a shame. Right, need to have a look at that immobiliser. So we're just changing out all these spark plugs. We've just come to start it, wouldn't start. This car's never really had an issue other than the actual starter motor. It was turning over fine a minute ago, but it literally wasn't firing. Now, I've never really had that issue with it before. But after taking these spark plugs out, I'm quite surprised we haven't had that issue before, to be honest. I mean, let me see. See if you can make this out. Look at the state of that. They're obviously soaking wet, so she's getting fuel. But
It's not just one or two, is it?
no, every single one of these spark plugs are absolute. I mean, yeah, that one there is particularly bad.
Yeah,
I've
you
cleaned that
out.
one.
Yeah, these two.
Yeah. Right, unfortunately, I didn't have a spare set of plugs, so I've cleaned these, as you can see on the end. They're far better now. Cleaned them all up, put a good bit of heat through them as well, just to kind of dry the core of them, because I think this was chucking in so much fuel to try and get it started, but not getting a good enough spark off of these that they've just fouled themselves. So I will get a set of these on order, but for now I'm going to try cleaning these up and just chucking them back in and see if that makes a difference. So back on this BMW this morning, rebuilt all that section and this corner last night, so that's all done now. My plan for today is to do this area here. As you can see, that's right underneath the boot rubber, so it's just took an absolute hammering over the years. So I'm going to cut all this out. I've already done this side. That was the same. I have still got one tiny little hole which appeared under there to do, but the rest of this now is looking really, really good. We're kind of ready to go with everything else in there, so I'm going to cut this section out today, repair it, get that in primer, and then we're somewhere near with the back end of this thing then, getting it ready to put fully in primer and get some fresh paint on it. Justine has ordered this morning a load of sound deadening to go in the boot. She's not worried about weight or anything in this car, we just want it to be nice, so she's going to plaster that floor in sound deadening, and also the interior of the car as well. She's going to do that in a load of sound deadening as well, just to make it a nice place to be. We can't obviously put the interior back in until that's turned up, so yeah, for now I'm down here on a Sunday, which is rare for me. I don't normally do Saturday and Sunday because I'm back into it tomorrow, so it's not even going to feel like I've had a day off, but I love being down here cracking on with stuff like this. Yeah, I don't do sitting around very well, so I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get this welded up, and yeah, I'm excited to see this back end finished. I'm dying to see this all primed up, ready for paint, because we can start putting everything back on this then, and it's gonna look really, really good. So there we go, guys. That will certainly do me. That area there, all repaired. Obviously, I'm going to have to put a little bit of filler over this to finish it off. But that's all solid there now. Real intricate little area to repair this, just getting all these different angles and stuff. There is a rubber seal which sits in here, so not really going to see any of this anyway, but I still wanted to make it as tidy as possible. Like I said, I'm going to mix up a little bit of filler, which is going to go just in here to smooth some of this out a little bit, just to make it a little bit nicer. And then yeah, that is pretty much this back end now, completely rust free and ready for a little bit of filler. We'll get this all prepped, masked, high build primer. We'll get it all in paint, and then the back end of this car can start to go back together. So what I'm doing here now is these bumpers on these CSIs. They're in two pieces, well, three pieces, should I say. These end pieces here, they bolt onto there. Now, when we took these apart, we had to cut all the, what are you doing, Marley? Huh? Come on, out the way, go, move. When we took these apart, we had to cut all the bolts out. So, and to be honest, I don't see the point in these being in three parts. So what I've done is I've welded those end pieces together, and these aren't going to be chrome, these are going to be satin black. So once this is all welded together in one piece, I'll finish these little bits off just with a little bit of filler, and then these will be painted satin black, and they will they'll look much neater and tidier. I will be. Obviously, wants a little bit of filler work and stuff like that, but that now that will sit kind of on there ish, like that, and it's all nice and straight now. Whereas before, I think at some point in its life it had been reversed into something.
I'm sure there was a dent, wasn't it?
It was all dented, yeah. Got the dent out, and then I just think that looks far better. I think that looks far better as one than it does separated. Getting there. Right.
Well, it was in 2 pieces before,
Now it's one. Got my skills. Happy? So this is the cover that goes over the windscreen, no, not the windscreen wiper, the blower motor, isn't it? It was just looking a little bit tired, a little bit tatty. So Justine's rubbed it down, given it a coat of primer, and this is satin black. So it's going to dry a little bit less shiny than that, but it certainly looks a lot fresher than it was. All underneath this bonnet, everything under here, to be fair, is pretty tidy. She's going to do the same thing on that air box there, but when you look at the condition of everything else under here, it's all really, really good. So doing little bits like that is all going to help how it's going to look under here. Obviously got our posh BC Racing coilovers on there, so they look all nice and shiny. And like I said, in general, other than a bit of a clean, it's really tidy under here. So doing bits like that, it's worth doing, because it's just going to look tidier and tidier. And this is doing under here is all stuff that can just be done over time. You know, take one bit off here and there, clean it up, put it back on. Really fancy doing like an old school, back in the day, back when we were modifying cars like this, one of the things that we used to love doing was highly polishing rocker covers. And I look at that rocker cover with all the black and I think of that maybe done mirror finish. So think at some point we might do just an inlet manifold, not an inlet manifold, rocker cover gasket on there and polish that rocker cover up at the same time. I don't know, we'll see how that goes, but that's what I fancy doing with that. But we'll see. We were eyeing this up yesterday to see how easy it would be to put a turbo on it. That's something I would like to do.
You were eyeing it up, not me.
I think this would be great with the two things I would like to do to this car. One is a manual conversion. That is a must. That's on the hit list. And secondly, I can't help but think this car needs just a little baby turbo on it. We're not going to do it now. The car's going to come on the road first. It's going to be used, etc. But when she's got a good bit of time under her belt with this car, maybe over next winter, when we think about taking it off the road again, I might look then at making a manifold first, seeing what we need to do management wise, And yeah, there was one of these kicking about with a turbo on it. If I remember rightly, it caught fire at, I want to say Anglesey circuit. I think it caught fire. I've seen a video of it online. Now that was running a turbocharger. I can't remember if it was one of these engines. I'm pretty sure it was a 3.5, but yeah, that's the only one that I've really seen in the UK anyway, so that's something we'll look at for the future. Anyway, we are just about to pack up and go home for the night. We've had a good weekend on this car. Got a lot of stuff done. We are a good step forward. This week I am going to go and get some primer so that we can get the back end of this all primed up. I'm going to get some underbody Schultz because the underside of this doesn't need any welding. It just wants a good rub down and then Schultz in, so I'm going to do that this week. And yeah, I'm going to get this back end kind of ready for the bumper to go back on, the back lights to go back in, and get all the back end back together again. That's the plan. And then we'll move forward and do the front. Justine's ordered her steering wheel boss. She's got a lovely steering wheel to go on this, so she's ordered a steering wheel boss. She's ordered some loom tape just to wrap up different parts of the loom, and she's also ordered a roll of sound deadening to go all on the floor. So the plan in the boot for this thing is to give that a damn good rub down. Again, it's just, there's a little bit of flaky paint where it has had some water in the boot, so we need to get all that off. I might Raptor the inside of the boot just because it's so nice and hard wearing, so maybe Raptor the inside of the boot before the sound deadening goes down. And then the plan in the boot of this is to do kind of an old school boot build, because she's going to have a nice stereo system in this. I fancy ply line in the boot just with some thin ply and recessing a little 12-inch subwoofer into the spare wheel well. Because of the wheels that are on this, the spare wheel in this doesn't match anyway, so we could do without that. We can recess it into the floor because it is going to be important. We can still use the boot on this car. So yeah, I think that's the way we're going to go. Ply line it, a bit of a boot build with a little sub, little amp, and then just some carpet. But that's all stuff to come at a later date. First things first, we need to get this thing on the road, moving around and usable. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave this video here and we'll catch up again soon. We are going to be doing some more progress on this car over the next few weeks, so if you're interested in this build, like, subscribe, keep your eye out, and yeah, we'll have some more updates coming soon. Thanks very much guys, see you later.